out of this summer quarter in this last month, living in the last days, living in the last days, last things. Teacher outline prophecy in perspective, prophecy in perspective. To look at prophecy and to see where we are today, and to see how relevant the Bible really is. Amen. And I think even in their day and time, that day and time, the past is never, amen, better than the present or the future because it's already behind us. The thing that we're looking for today is to appreciate where we are and to understand prophecy in perspective. How do we deal with prophecy that was made over 2,000 years ago? And how do we handle it today? And how do we walk in obedience to God with an expectation of the best still is yet to come? That God got a great future for you and I. If people from the 70s could certainly be transformed or transported to 2025, what might impress them the most? Well, see, I can come from the 70s because I'm. Some of us can come from the 70s. I lived in the 70s. By the time 70 got here, amen, I was already almost grown. I would say almost grown. Surely by the time 1979 got here, I was 20 years old by then. So my teenage life was in the 70s. In the 70s, amen. And so the thing that probably shocks me the most probably would be the technology of AI, artificial intelligence, how fast. I had no clue. The computer, amen. When I started out on, I'm trying to think of what I had in the 70s. We was just getting something. IBM, I think it was an big old IBM, and you had all of the big heavy-duty computers, and it printed out, not the way we print out today. It was on a roller or a wheel, and that's the way we printed out material. IBM was probably on the forefront. They probably gone now. They might not even exist. Is IBM out completely? Don't even exist no more? No. See, but because technology have moved so fast. In the 70s, we didn't have iPhones, of course. We didn't even have pagers in the 70s. I think it was in the 80s, mid 80s, before pagers came out. We were still landline. We were still telephones that was in the laundromat and on every corner, and you could put a dime in a payphone and make a phone call. So now all of us carry one in our pockets. So if people from the 1970s could certainly be transformed to 2025, what might impress them the most? Technology. Amen. Black and white TVs were still probably pretty strong. They were just coming out probably with color, and they was probably big old flow model color TVs at that time. Well, TVs now are made to throw in the garbage can. Amen. If something go wrong with them, they ain't even made to fix. Amen. Just throw them out beside the road. Big screen TV was so big and heavy, they wasn't nothing like what we got this thin to put on the wall. You would have had to have a lot of room. It was a major piece of furniture. What do you think the world would look like now in 2075? Now, let's go forward now. We're in 2025 now, 2075, 50 years from now. 50 years from now, what would it look like 50 years from now? I really don't think we'll still be here. That's that, and I've been having that thought ever since I got saved. I've been having that ever since 45 years now, ever since I got saved in 1980. I've been having the thought that the rapture of the church or the people of God can be taken at any time. And the urgency of that is not as strong, I believe, as once was. I don't really know if there's a move in the earth realm. But I think if we understand prophecy and put it in perspective, we ought to believe and sense and know that it's closer now than when we first believed. It is closer now. But for 2075, 50 years into the future, amen, what would it be like? I was in a hotel and we was trying to buy something to eat at the convention center. We wasn't in the hotel. And they didn't take money, period. None of the booths of where you could buy food, you couldn't pay with money. They said, we don't take money. No money at all. You had to have a card. You could not buy nothing in that convention center with money. Nothing in the convention center could be bought with money. You would have to have a card. And if not a card, your phone where it's connected, you tap your phone. Or your watch now. You know, technology is so, the Apple Watch, you just tap it with your wrist and it's paid for just like that. So the mark of the beast or the scanning of your hands, that's very sealable even right now. Even right now, some hotels you can go into now, they won't give you a key. They'll put a band, like you go in the hospital, a band that's on your wrist. Yeah. And that's the way you enter in. When you reach up there with that, it's a sensor around that band that's on your wrist, and you'll open that door, and it'll unlock when you open it. When you put your hand on there to open it, it'll scan that band, and it'll open that door. So technology is allowing us to see how fast, amen, the world is moving into, we way into what we call the 21st century now, amen. But 50 years, the widow's mite, the disciples was impressed by the temple. Jesus was not impressed by the temple. Jesus was impressed by your sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? Prophecy and perspective. What are we willing to say, Lord, I'm giving up of me. I'm giving up of me. The truth about God has a bigger plan for eternity that we do not yet understand. Eternity is much bigger than what we understand. If we think that we can wrap our minds around it and understand it, we're missing it. One thing about eternity, amen, there is no growing old in eternity. Amen. Your birthdays are ended. You know, sometimes people be posting somebody that have died, and if they died at 55 years old, and then you saying they 56 now, this is their heavenly birthday. Not so. Amen. There is no heaven.